Let it play. Let it play. Let it play.
Oh, Lord. The climb continues, KB. Oh, my God.
I am sweating.
Look at my heart. Look.
You know what? Yeah, I have so much to say. And that's why
we're gonna be on all night.
I didn't think it was all night. I didn't think it was over until it was. Even with God, so much, so many things to say tonight. Well
first we won, baby.
That's really all that matters.
Wait a minute. Should I take off my hat? Put on my helmet.
Herbie.
Let me put my helmet on.
Of course.
Let me put the helmet.
We got Lee in the studio. Oh my gosh.
Listen, well, first of all, let's do what we want to do. 2-0, baby. 2-0, baby.
When's the last time you can say that?
Not for a while. Not on a premiere, and then beating in a premiere Sunday night game when the world is watching. There is no other football on. You're the only game in town. You know,
my Lord.
I mean.
Lord.
Let's say congratulations, man, to the Noles, to coach, to the staff, to everybody. And hopefully they'll go out and have a great time tonight in New Orleans. Hopefully Coach's not going to let the team run around down there. That'd be a second mistake we will talk about.
Nobody get arrested tonight, please. Nobody.
You know, unbelievable win for the Noles. This is a big step up the rung, up the climb as we climb up. So, what do you got to say, man?
I always know these games. We can be up 14-21 in the fourth quarter. I always know it's going to come down to this stuff. Like at this point, these days are never fun. Like these games aren't fun to watch.
They're not going to be fun this year.
No, they're never fun.
This is one of 4 big ones.
These games are never fun to watch because you can be up by 14-21 in the fourth, and I always feel like we can't close out, and that's still apparent. But we did find a way to close this out. But it's always so close, and it's just always so stressful. But they found a way to win the game, and it was we could have made it pretty. We could have put a stamp on the game, made it really nice. But then they closed it out in a way where there's going to be a lot more questions about this team. But, you won. It's a W, and that's all that matters. It's 2-0. You're 2 more games closer to a bowl game. And that's really what matters, right?
It's a W. It's a
and it's a game I don't think you would have won 2 seasons ago. I think you would have found a way to not block that kick or to turn over the ball a lot more in this game. So we can discuss that. But
I don't want our fans or viewers. And, we appreciate you guys. We really do. We grind like this team and the climb. We're climbing too. It's a slow grind. It sounds like we're in the mud sometimes, but we're trying to grind out 1 subscriber, 1 viewer at a time, on Twitter, on our podcast, and on our YouTube like we are now. But we're trying to grind it out. This team is going to have to grind everything out this season. And I'm sorry if I'm a little loud. We're just coming out of the game, minutes out of this game. It was unbelievable. I can't imagine being sitting there in the stadium, much less at home, and seeing everything and knowing everything because you're seeing it on TV. But first, I just have to say congratulations to everybody and to everybody on our side for a win. But KB, as you pointed out, and please don't take this as negativity, but if you do, we don't sugarcoat anything. There are some questions.
And it's sad because for 3 quarters, you played a pretty good ball game.
I've got a book full of notes here. I'm going to pull up notes. We're not going to do that tonight.
Yeah, not tonight.
We're not going to do that tonight. But let's just talk about the last sequence on the muffed punt by LSU, the second muffed punt by their returners, Neighbors, who's a quality guy.
Yeah.
And he muffs it, hands the ball. They got a stop on Florida State. They needed to get the ball back, and there was like 2 minutes and 50 seconds, something like that. I've got written in my notes. And the punt goes out. Good punt by Mastromino. Good punt. He muffs it. We recover a second miscue. That's it. That's how you win the game.
Yeah.
Right there.
You kick the field goal, the game's essentially over.
Yeah, that's right. You could just kill the clock. You'd have to make them run out of their timeouts. So the muff punt, let's pick it up from there.
The muff punt, they run it twice, I think. It was second, or they run it once, you get a couple yards, and it's either second or third down. They toss it to Ward, which they haven't tossed it to Ward in the goal line situation, I don't think, the whole night. The play made no sense.
Nobody does that. Nobody.
No, and we haven't either.
At Little League football, you don't pitch the ball in the damn red zone down there like that, especially not within the 2-yard line.
And especially when the circumstances, all you needed was a field goal to win the game, basically win the game and seal it. 2, you have 3 running backs you could just clearly hand the ball off and get a yard. You've been pushing. You've had good push on the line all night. You're averaging almost 4 yards a clip. And 3, you don't do that pitch at the goal line, and nor have you been running that in the red zone all night. So why, in that situation, to close out the game, do you pitch that ball? It makes no. You could even tell the timing of it. They weren't even confident.
I'll tell you what.
I don't get it.
I'll tell you what. That's how close. Now this, I'm sorry, fans. I'm sorry, but we have to clean this up. As Coach likes to say, we got to clean some stuff up. They almost cleaned Coach up. If we would have lost this game tonight in overtime, there would be horrendous questions about what happened on that final call.
Well,
and sideline media that takes on Coach Norvell there from the Knowles standpoint, they need to ask him who called that play and why. And if no one in Knowles media calls that question out directly, don't mince around, who called the play and why?
Well, okay, yes, you're correct. So someone needs to be accountable for that call. 100%. Someone needs to be accountable for that.
Nobody does that to KB.
Well, we'll find it. If nobody does,
you don't do that.
Well, somebody does. And Mike Norvell should be the one to say something first. He should be the one to say, I made the call. Whoever did, they need to be accountable, and they should know that. Because they literally almost tossed the game away. Second is the defensive sequence after that. 99 yards. You had 99 yards that you could defend.
They went 99.
They went 99 yards in what was it? They went 99 yards. I'm pulling it up here just so I'm in a minute 20. They went 99 yards in minute 20. Like even the announcers are saying, why are you giving up the sideline so easily? You're allowing them to catch it 10 yards, step out of bounds, catch it, step out of bounds. And you're just giving up the boundaries so easily instead of forcing them into the middle of the field where they have to run clock. And then you give up these couple of chunk plays that you haven't given up. I hate these prevent type defenses. I know it's like the standard. You give up these, but you're rushing 3 guys, getting no pressure. Verse gets that 1 sack, which is great. But then you give up the chunk play right after it. You're lucky that guy. You're lucky. We're going to analyze. At some point, they're going to analyze that play of that tight end who, as a freshman, played really well tonight. They were containing him, but we're lucky he didn't run it for a touchdown. We're lucky that defensive back was.
This game could have been easily lost. This game could have been.
But at the same time, it could have easily been a blowout for us. We left 14.
I don't want to talk like this on victory night. Maybe we should just take the victory and talk next week. Maybe we should.
Let's talk.
Let's do that because some fans are going to get upset with us. Some of our viewers are going to get upset.
I think we should celebrate.
Anybody who saw this game has to be thinking this because there's stuff we need to clean up. And Coach
it's an ugly win. It's an ugly win. I think
it's a really ugly win that we almost gave away to a team that didn't look very good. And I want to say that we looked really good, but they didn't look very good at all. And I think they've got a long road to go. Got a long road to go. And I think
the reason it feels like this is because we did play very solid for 3 quarters. And then that fourth quarter it kind of falls apart. And you have a bad taste in your mouth now.
About the second half of the third quarter and the fourth quarter, we got beat. Okay, and the points on the scoreboard show we got beat in that final, the final 20 minutes. We got to take this. We got to take it and enjoy it tonight. And but there's things to be cleaned up, not only on the on the player, on the game side, but in the strategy.
So let's talk about some positives.
Let's talk about the good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the good stuff.
Yeah, because we have
Jordan Travis, total command. Jordan was total command. He looked confident. He knows he's the guy, and he's out there. And I loved him pitching it around. I loved him pitching it around tonight. That's what I wanted to see him do.
And he trusted his guys.
Yeah, and we had guys, the portal guys stepped up.
Yep.
All the portal guys.
Yep.
Pittman stepped up. Johnny Wilson stepped up.
I was impressed with Johnny.
Really on offense. On defense.
Deuce. You saw Deuce make a couple of.
Deuce stepped up. Pokey Wilson. Come on.
Dude, he had me so pumped, man. That guy's ridden and out.
He's always been steady.
He didn't transfer. He didn't leave. No. He's played, done the court. He's been consistent, like you said. Never gets talked about a lot.
Always been steady performer and is a tremendous asset to this team. What a one-handed catch he made.
He made the toughest catch of the night.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
And I said we would have, if we had about 130 to 140 yards rushing, we'd win the game. We had 132 yards rushing.
Yep.
That's some of that's been subtracted away with sacks. I don't know how many sacks they had. I'd have to look that up.
Well, I think the biggest thing with the 132 is that Jordan Travis didn't really use his leg. I mean, he did at some points, but
he did not.
He didn't have to run he didn't have to rush it 20 times to win the game for you, right?
And that's what we wanted to see. I wanted to see him. I wanted to see him comfortable in that pocket saying, I can beat you with my arm. Because that's what it's going to take. And Jordan's only a junior now. He's going to grow in confidence this year, okay? And then next year, he's going to have even a bigger year. But he's showing, I can beat you with my arm. So don't you think I can't beat you with my arm?
I think that was one of the biggest impressions I took away is that two of those balls, the one to Micah in the back of the end zone, should have been a touchdown. That was great placement on that ball in the back corner of the end zone. Micah could have had two hands on it, and he just dropped it. The other one to, I believe
Johnny
it was,
Wilson.
Johnny.
Wilson.
Once again, that's
tough catch.
He's got to catch. It's a tough catch, but he put it in the right place.
Johnny is better when the ball's in front of him or down around his waist or chest level. This thing of running and looking up and putting your arms up, I don't think he is, we're getting some comments in.
No Orleans. I love that. No
Orleans. No Orleans.
Love that.
That's a good one. Thanks for listening in, guys. Those guys all stepped up. I mean, Johnny Wilson is potentially a huge weapon. He can get downfield. He made some tough catches.
He goes across the middle too.
Yeah.
That one catch over the middle where Jordan was like off his back, like running around, and Johnny came back and caught it. These are balls that we wouldn't catch last season.
And there were a couple of other drop balls. Cam McDonald dropped the ball that he should have caught.
Once again,
was a first down ball. That's
tight end play.
I think he knew his safety was coming, and he did. He was thinking about that safety. Listen, I don't blame you. Anybody who's ever run across the middle of a field, the guy's going to pound you.
Yeah.
Come on. It's there, but he's got to catch that ball. He's got to catch that ball. So, I mean, and we don't want to get into the stats because it's too late tonight, but, Pokey Wilson, not a big guy, great route runner and great hands, always has been at the Noles. 102 yards tonight, 7 catches. Johnny Wilson had a big night, 3 for 60. Pittman, who's always around the ball, one way or the other.
Or blocking.
3 and 45.
Yeah.
So
great.
McKees Douglas. He had a catch.
Yeah, it was big 8 yards in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he's a big dude, man. We got to get the ball to this guy. We got to get this ball. So great there. Defense. Okay, let's stay on the offense for a minute. Rushing, what did we do? How'd the guys do?
It was, I mean, we didn't, like you said, like there wasn't like a guy that went off.
No.
The thing was they were able to get 3-4 yards at a time, so that made the defense have to respect the run. And they stuck with it. I think some of the running scheme, I was like, I wish they had bounced it outside a little bit more, but you have to respect the LSU speed. And so I think that's why they tried to bang it inside a little bit more. But I have to say, Trayshawn, a couple of times, he eked out 2-3 yards.
Right. Yeah, he
should have
did.
been a stop. So I think with the run game, they made them respect it. It wasn't a huge run game like last weekend. I don't think anyone expected that to be the same case, but they ran against a tough defensive line pretty well.
Well, we have to say they had a couple guys out too.
Well, one guy got hurt. Star got hurt on the end. Yeah, Mason got hurt.
He got hurt early in the game, which didn't help them.
No, you don't.
Okay? I mean, that'd be like losing.
But injuries happen.
That'd be like losing our two guys up front.
It's like losing first.
But that's the way football is. It changes the game a little bit. But we ran the ball enough to keep them honest.
Yeah.
And to keep them, they have to respect your run, and they did respect the run.
Yeah.
I think their strategy was, we're going to make Travis Jordan beat us in the air. And he did. He did beat him in the air. Travis had a good night.
Yeah.
The offense had a good night. I can't fault that.
There's no turnovers either. That was the biggest thing.
Jordan, a turnover on the pitch out at the end.
Yeah, that's the sad thing is that they played such a clean game and didn't give LSU any easy, aside from the one drive where you gave them 30 yards of penalty yards on deep, but you didn't turn over the ball in bad spots until the end there, which it's
well. You said it before. What we want to see is Coach Norvell say, we made the call as the coaches. We put our players in a bad position. We should have never made that call. It's my fault.
Yeah, exactly.
Then go about your business. That's it. Yeah. That's how you answer the question.
Yeah.
Period.
Exactly.
Don't start hemming and hawing. If you do, that's a mistake.
Yeah. All right. Let's look at the defensive side.
Yeah. Let's go on the defensive side.
I don't know if you have stats yet, but probably don't have stats for defense yet. But I think so. You have total yards, turnovers. I mean, I don't think they had much yardage in the first half. If I'm being honest,
they had 139 yards total rushing, 209 passing, 348 overall. They only scored 3 points in the first half.
Yeah,
you got to say your defense is playing good. But what was the problem was, as well as they were playing, we only had 7 points. Okay,
and we left 14. We left 14 on the field.
We'll talk about that this week. We'll talk about that this week.
But I think the defense in the first half, I think overall.
Wait a minute. Let's back it up to offense for a minute. How about the fullback Lundy?
DJ, I love that. I love that.
I
love that play call.
That's an
example of why did they just do that again?
Yeah, DJ Lundy had big games in high school running the ball.
And exactly. So
because we don't have a banger. We don't have a banger.
Once, and you don't give it to DJ. You toss it out on the two. Why don't you just give it to DJ again?
I don't know. Okay, let's go on to defense again.
Verse. I thought Verse played really well tonight.
I think he woke up. I think he finally said, I'm a player at this level. I can play at this level. Now, he was working against some inexperienced tackles at times. So, I'm not saying that. But Verse really he earned some stickers.
And you have 2 or 3 more years to develop. You have a ton of eligibility with him.
He's a big guy. I didn't realize he's as big as he is. He's
just a freak athlete.
They had him on TV at 6'4", 250.
Yeah, he's a freak. He's a freak. So I think, he showed up tonight. Like you said, he took advantage of playing a freshman.
He almost had 2 more sacks.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He had, when his numbers come out on the hurries and stuff, and pressures, he's going to have some pretty good numbers.
And I think a couple of times he just overran because he was able to get penetration, but he just overran the pocket and didn't break contain. So that's one thing I think they'll have to work on with him is how do you contain some of these mobile guys without overrunning it. But I think you can't complain about his play without looking too much into it. 2 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. I think he had actually, 2 sacks tonight, 2 tackles for loss.
Yeah.
He played great. I think for the most part, our defensive
backs. Bethune. I thought
he's a star.
He was around the ball. He's around the ball.
He helped with the run stop. I mean, they didn't run for anything against us.
Deloach, another monster tonight.
Yeah.
Deloach.
Yeah.
The secondary, I think, played well enough.
They shut down for till the fourth quarter. They had shut down their star receiver, who you saw him pouting, the Keyshawn Boot. He only had two receptions for 20 yards. They shut him down, which is their future NFL draft pick there.
But he played a pretty good fourth quarter for them.
No, he didn't.
Keyshawn
didn't do anything for them.
Booty, I thought he caught the last ball.
No, that was Jenkins.
Jenkins. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for the most part,
maybe he'll go into the portal.
No one that it seemed like he doesn't have a great attitude. There was something going on there, but no one blew up against you. It was that final drive, 99 yards, they ran down. If you don't have that play, if you don't have that drive, you look great on defense. You just can't give it up. That's why I don't know if it was just they went into this vanilla defense, just try to keep it in front of them, which they did, but that just kills the momentum. Just attack.
I know. Well, how about the analyst? How about was it McElroy? What's his name?
Yeah, Greg McElroy.
Yeah, Greg. He goes. Well, LSU should just let them score. Which
no, it's not a dumb play.
No,
because
it isn't. I understand that.
It's not.
No, I understand that.
But then you play for the turnover, and
Let's see. Wendy's got a comment. A few mistakes by players, coach, but overall very happy performance. Gold Nose, let's go. Yeah, we are too, Wendy. We're happy, and we'll save better analysis and stuff for the week show, for our weekly show, but. It's just our emotional reactions to what we just saw.
Yeah,
and I'm sure guys are down on Bourbon Street now going, "Oh Lord!" In our hearts, it was just. But this is, as I say, I believe there's 4 brand name games. This was one. It was on a major platform. No other games, and. We wanted to win this game. Got to win this game because we can say whatever their records would be, but Miami, Florida, and Clemson are going to be the same hype. It's going to be big games, and these games are all going to be close. So get your heart attack pills ready, folks.
Yeah,
this is not going to be for the weak of heart. We're a building team. We're a building program, and we're still climbing. And this was the first step.
Yeah, and I'm just glad to see, you give up the touchdown at the end, which sucks, but you still had the effort all the way through the extra point, and it paid off. You keep they didn't give up and say, okay, just give them the extra point for the overtime. You press through, and that's what it's all about. You got the block, and you won the game. So something you have to give credit to that. But
that is really the last play that you build on.
Yeah.
You build on the effort in the last play to win the game, because if that game goes into overtime, anything could have happened. Anything could have happened. So, and that's what you build on.
And I just think overall, Florida State, I think, played the better game, and we
did. We dominated. I think we dominated the game. We dominated the game.
Yeah, except for that, if you take out the final drive, like you said, that's 99 yards. If you take off that total, you dominated almost 400 yards of offense.
Because we were playing a soft defense.
Soft
defense, hoping with the clock.
Time of possession, you controlled the clock really well on offense. And I think the thing is, you left a couple of red zone drives that should have been touchdowns. 2 of those balls should have been touchdowns. You missed the kick, the field goal.
We didn't take the field goal.
We didn't. I don't mind that play, but that should have been a touchdown. You executed that play properly. It should have been a touchdown. You missed the field goal.
That could have been 6 points.
So you leave at least 9 points on the field at minimum, if not more. So I think
13,
you played a solid game. You got sloppy at the end, but you come out with the W.
That's it.
And I think that's it. That's really it. So
you know what? And tonight's game was kind of characteristic of the entire weekend. I mean, but this was a better quality opponent than some of the other ACC teams had. In a way. They were playing FCS teams and they barely survived by a point or whatever. We've been there, but this was a game that Florida State needs to keep going to the next rung up the ladder. So I think that's where we're at.
Altogether. I think defense altogether did a great job shutting down their star receivers. For the most part, I think your offense showed that that you have new weapons now that are actually that infusion, that they've picked the right transfers. Deuce, Wilson, Pittman, all those guys are going to be able to make an impact. You didn't see Malik. You didn't see some of these other guys on the roster that you thought you would, but those 3 transfers made an impact tonight. And then Ontario made the biggest impact of all the receivers. So you're seeing that mesh, right? They made the right transfer pulls out of the portal for the offense, and I think you should be excited about the
offensive line too. We've added guys in there from the portal, and actually the offensive line stood up pretty good.
Yeah.
Stood up pretty good. I give them an average plus grade tonight, but they stood up pretty good to keep us in the game and keep Travis on his feet.
Yep.
Okay, now he had to scramble around, but I think they held up, and this was a good confidence builder for them.
Yeah, because even with their Mason out, LSU still has a lot of talent on that line.
Sure,
you're dealing with a lot of
talent.
And you're not going to face a lot of lines. I mean, you're going to face lines that are a little bit below the average level of LSU's talent. So, yeah, like you said, he got flushed out a couple of times, but I think between what they were able to do and the play calling, it really helped out to alleviate that pressure.
You know who the hammer should go to tonight to break that stone? Okay. You know who I'd give it to? Who would you give it to?
Ontario Wilson. It has to be. He made the catch of the game. I don't think he dropped the ball. He was Mr. Reliable tonight.
You know who I would maybe give it to? The special teams.
Yeah.
All the bring that group, bring a rep from that group. Our special teams have been horrible over the years.
Wyatt Rector made a couple of plays.
Wyatt Rector
Yeah.
earned some money tonight on tape. A former quarterback, okay, who's gone to play tight end, and he's doing a wonderful job as an H-back. He's not a big guy, but he made some great plays on special teams.
Yeah.
Gerald Verse made some good plays on special. That might have been Sharon Brown, who we don't know who blocked it in the end.
It was either it wasn't Shaheem Brown. It was either one, Shaheem Brown or somebody else. I think made the block. But like
unbelievable.
You said,
that's special teams. Now we should have kicked those kickoffs in the field instead of starting them out at the. We'll talk about that later. But special teams, great job. Shout out.
Yeah, exactly. So like you said, I think the investment in the special teams. It's starting to pay out because Mike Novell's been known for his special teams playing because he thinks
Brian Kelly found out tonight.
He
found out tonight.
I don't think there's much more to say. Like you said, a lot of good things to take away. Obviously, some bad things at the end of the day, but a win's a win. You got the win. You leave New Orleans with a win, basically an away game on the road. Your team played solid for 3 quarters, and you have some things to work on.
A big shout out to all the fans that were there.
Yeah. It was loud. It was so loud. It was great.
So loud. It was like almost a home game for us. I mean, the shouts were that loud in the stadium by the Noles fans and the band.
It was great.
It was great. So you guys saw one hell of a game. I hope nobody had to go to the hospital for a heart attack. That's just pounding. But they're down on Bourbon Street now, and I'm sure the video will be pouring in. Man, hey, don't get in trouble down there. Get back home safely. And there's going to be more to come, fans, and more to come.
Last thing I have to put up here, which I found funny, was Danny Cannell put a tweet out. I'm going to share it. He always has a couple of funny things to say. This is his tweet about the pitch. Funny, no one seemed to mind when I used to pitch the toss sweep to work done down at the goal line.
Hey, that's true. That's probably true. But Danny is still not a good play. It's still not a good play. There's got to be better plays out there than that. I got one before we hang up. Then we'll hang up on this.
What is that?
Let me pull it up here. Hold it. I can just show it on here. Wait a minute.
That should be a great viewer experience.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You ready?
What is this?
They cry.
I can't even see it. What is it? I don't know what it is.
Go Tigers! Ed Orgeron. I wonder, Ed Orgeron, he's probably getting his stuff back on. He goes, hey, they may need me in there, man.
And I just want to say our guest Leah on Friday, I think predicted a 31-7 round. So I'm glad
how do we do on our predictions? You won that one
by 3. I called it by 3.
I have to say I picked against.
Yeah. So you're wrong for that. We'll break that down on Thursday next week.
Oh,
but we don't have to go.
I don't want to think about that.
But I'm correct so far. So, but yeah, guys.
Very good.
Once
and
again,
we saw our guest Leah pounding out there. She was pounding out some tweets and other reporting for the LSU folks there. So I'm sure she had a great time.
Yeah. So final score 24-23. Florida State wins with the block at the Bayou and is officially 2-0. Louisville comes up in 2 weeks. So we'll have some content for you next week, and then
I'm gonna put my helmet away, brother. I'm gonna put my helmet away.
Of course. So Lee, put the helmet on. Put the helmet on before we go. All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you next week. Take care and have a safe week.